Jesus! It's fun! So I had to leave my shoes up front, which, so without my shoes, you know that I'm only like 4'8". So
well,
I
that broke
apologize.
a serious mood. Thank you, Joe.
But by the way, if you want to steal my shoes and use them for luggage, you're more than welcome to. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, panel. I've listened to Alan many times on the radio, and he's always very concerned about the balance of power and the chipping away of our democracy, and I feel the same way, Alan. And what could prevent Donald Trump from overthrowing our government and making it a military coup and dictatorship? How easy would that be under our democracy?
Well,
Alan.
it's interesting. The man I call the turtle, Mitch McConnell, said the other day, when Trump, the thought was that Trump would wanted to institute a nuclear option on regular votes in the Senate and thereby eliminate the filibuster so that he could get his stuff through. And McConnell, who I am not a fan of, stood up and said that isn't going to happen. And that we have all signed a pledge that that isn't going to happen because it will take democracy out of the mix. And astoundingly, I got some real hope there for a moment. That in fact, there are some things that United States senators take extremely seriously and that other people take seriously. And I'll bet that the biggest problem this guy has, Trump has, in terms of instituting these draconian things, are the generals in his cabinet. I think they've been trained from very early times not to allow that to happen. And it's so interesting. Trump says one thing, and the generals have been contradicting him left and right. So I have some hope there.
Anybody else want to weigh in on that? Okay, we have another question.
Despite all the chaos that's going on in this administration, I saw a statistic in the newspaper yesterday that said that only 28% of Americans believe that the Democratic Party is in touch with the needs and the feelings of the middle class. What's the panel think about that?
28%. Mike?
Well, I think that it shows that the Democratic Party needs to do an awful lot to reach out. You know, we talked about how Trump promised to bring the coal back to West Virginia. I've heard the analysis that people really in their hearts know that he wasn't going to be able to do that, but at least he was paying attention to them, and the Democrats weren't paying attention to them. And I think that identifies a big part of the problem. The Democratic Party needs to get a bench. It needs to reach out. If they need a candidate, maybe Jimmy Kimmel ought to run, you know?
Well, wasn't that moving and amazing? Really incredible. If nobody has seen that clip of Jimmy Kimmel about his child, it's really moving. Alan?
Well, just let me jump in on this. I think that the Democratic Party has some real problems that they have to pay attention to, as Mike indicates. But they have to not be stupid. I mean, being stupid is not good.
Can that be our next on-direct t-shirt?
And Rosemary will give me hell for this. Because we've argued about this on the air. When you're going to run...
I'm not in favor of stupid.
No. But when you run for President of the United States on the Democratic ticket, you don't take huge speaking fees as you're about to do that from Goldman Sachs. I think it was really dumb. Because symbolically, as Mike said, it was the wrong message to be sending. Now, Rosemary, I know, has troubles with me saying this kind of thing, but what do you think?
I think that's by far not the big problem with the Democratic
No, but
Party.
it is a problem.
No, I want as much money as anybody will pay to hear me talk, and I'll talk anywhere at any time. And she didn't say anything at Goldman Sachs, and neither is Obama, and neither did Reagan or any of the Republicans who do it. You get what the market bears. We pay ball players lots and lots of money. Why aren't we paying statesmen and scholars lots of money? I think it's just fine. It's the free enterprise that the Republicans pay. The problem with the Democrats is, first of all, they don't have a Democrat out there really talking. I'm sorry, I know many of you are Bernie Sanders fans, but what the heck is he doing representing the Democratic Party? He is not one himself. He did not help the Democrats this year. second, they don't have any young people. I love older women with power. But Nancy Pelosi should not be the speaker. And the person they put up to challenge her was a fool. I mean, yeah, you had to vote for Nancy because this guy could not have done it. So we need more leadership. And there are people out there. Kirsten Gillibrand in our own state. And I'm sick of the Rust Belt states. I mean, come on, let's talk to their educated people. I get that they feel left out and no one talks to them, but really, as Obama put it, this guy, Trump, you think he's going to be your champion? How do you argue against that? I think you actually start doing exactly what Hillary did and then defending it. She went to coal country and said, your jobs are gone. And we're going to get other jobs in sustainable energy. She was pilloried for that in the press. Press is to blame for that. She told the truth. Those jobs are gone. Trump is not going to help them. She did the right thing. She had bad press. The Democratic Party needs, maybe they should hire Donald Trump as their marketing agent, because that's what they do wrong. So that's enough.
Libby, you were going to say?
Yes.
Or hire Libby. You could do it.
Yeah. But, yes, I could. But I think what also needs to happen, and what we're seeing happening, is on the local level, we need to have massive grassroots. You know, there's a local school district with 3 seats open, and I think 8 people are running. So we need to get more of us engaged in the electoral process, running for various seats. This is how we change a party from the bottom up, because they have to listen. And there has to be some change from the top down as well. And you know, but we can have the best messaging in the world, and I think that the Democratic Party has more of the people's stake at heart than the Republicans do. But if people aren't willing to listen, and they are not willing to believe anything that comes out of somebody's mouth, you know, we need to now build up a whole new base of people who are going to go out to vote, that 50% that didn't vote, the independent voters, the people who think that this is not part of their process, or they're not part of the process, they have to get into the process.
Unfortunately, we're out of time for this hour. The good news is we have another hour, and we're going to bring a few new panel members up to join us in our next hour. But before we do that, I hope you will join me in thanking the wonderful panelists who have joined us for this hour. Mike Spain of the Times Union, Ira Busdell, and Libby Poston. We will be back. We will have Teresa and Rich and who else? Barbara. Oh my God, Barbara. They'll all be here, and we're going to have a toast to Rosemary and much, much more coming up next.
Cake.